Awesome. Wow. Okay. So what's really neat about doing this, I know it's a Saturday, even for me, it's like we got to hustle back and get on this call, but it's really cool. I'm really trying to create the feeling of when people come together in my gym and they start to share what they're going through, it's an experience that I can't replicate on my own. And that's a big part of this program, is providing the feeling that you're going through. Jacqueline is actually really embracing this and doing tremendously. If we look back where she was this time last year, not even close to the excitement of every day's of embracing every day, not even close, actually on the other side of the coin. And she had been training with me for 6 years up to that point. And I was handcuffed. I didn't know how to help her after having helped her for 5 years. And now we are elevating our energies together. And I want to bring in Kriska and just let her just kind of share what she's gaining from this. Everybody likes to talk about how much they've lost in weight. And she is doing that. And we'll talk about that a bit. But what are you gaining from this, Kriska? And what would you like the people around you to know that you're experiencing? Because it's you that is experiencing this. Nobody can experience it but you in your own way. So I'm going to sit back and we'll let Kriska share what she's going through.
Sure. Thanks, Evan.
Yeah.
So just a quick intro, and my friends and family would know that I'm a big advocate of self-love, putting yourself first, treating yourself. And I believe that you don't have to wait for anyone and for anything to happen before you actually do something and to make you happy or to make your dreams come true. It always has to come from you. So for example, if I wanted to see a country, I don't need people to accompany me to get there. I will go there myself. If I want to try a new restaurant, I'm there. I'll try it even if I'm just by myself. But what I realized, like treating myself, that concept as I grew older, it kind of changed. It became like literally treating myself for back pain, neck pain, migraine, all those pains that came with me growing older. And it just came to a point of realization that actually it started last year when I went for a pre-employment medical health check. And they said I had high cholesterol, like dangerous levels of cholesterol. And I'm like, what, is that a mistake? Because that's just for like old people who don't take care of ourselves or something like that. It didn't occur to me that it could happen to me. And that's when I realized I was doing something wrong. Something's not right. And I needed to like open my mind to what else is there for me to make a change in my body, into my mindset. And in the one liner that I sent to Evan, I did say that there are no shortcuts. I'm able to say that because I did try to try all the shortcuts. Because I think like why not just try them? So for example, those clinics that would offer wrapping your body to melt away the fat, or double chins wrapping away the fat. I mean, I'm like, it costs a lot, so it must do something. And there are testimonials. So I did try them, but they didn't work. And so it made me think like, okay, so it can be my nutrition then. So I did try keto diet because I saw people doing it and getting results. I did try to contact a coach from Philippines who's coaching me remotely, but there's something missing there. That's when I like realized that for me, like what would work for me is if there's actually someone holding me accountable. That's number one. And then two is if there's actually a system that I can follow. Keto has a system. It has like top line guidelines on what not to eat, what to eat. But I would still need to look for the food. So, and I do get bored with the food. So I think with the system that Evan also introduced to me, I was like, okay, I'll just grab something, and I do have options, and it made it easier for me. And I'm actually just on my first month, and I can't really say I'm close to my goal, but I am closer. I did make progress. I'm like, yeah, why not share this journey I'm on? It's just been a month, and Evan has been pivotal in this kind of change, because what I like about Evan is that he will celebrate little victories with you. It doesn't have to be a big like, oh, she lost 10 kilos already and that's what we'll celebrate. It's more of like a weekly check-in. Did you sleep well, did you take your walks? And it doesn't have to be 10K steps. It can be like starting out with 5K and then 10K. So those little changes that actually made sense. There are no shortcuts. It really has to be like um, knowing what to do and then just going with it with like little progress each week. So, and yeah, in my first month, I've been seeing changes. I just saw him like this week. He measured my double chin. He measured all the fat on my body just to see how many cms we've lost. And that actually inspires me because I know that I'm on the right track. He encourages me, and the pain like that I've been feeling because my dad had gout and I was so scared that I'll have it too because I've been starting feeling pain in my feet. Like, is it just because I'm too heavy or I've been eating the wrong kinds of food? So maybe it's both, but um, I've been seeing that going away lately. So it just makes me happy and more inspired. And Andrew here behind me is like doing the same thing, like following the kind of mindset and changes in our habit, like eating the right food and moving every day. So he's also been seeing changes. So that that is very like a big achievement for me already in itself. And
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much for sharing. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, Kriska, you're doing such a fantastic job of just embracing this process of potentially changing, but you have a lot of times that's what it takes is a doctor to say your cholesterol is high or you're pre-diabetic or like things that make people go, oh, like, oh crap. That's when people start to change, and which is unfortunate because the mindset of advance, like it's a growth mindset, right? To be able to wake up and go get something excellent as opposed to just living through life and letting life just happen. That's what we're really working on, is shifting the gears in our mentality as the body changes. So the shift in mindset is you have to have a bit of an open mind to actually realizing that this can be a little bit better and sharper, and what you're going through is inspiring the people around you already. That's how this company is growing, is because it has a trickle down effect. Just depends upon how much of an effect we want to inspire people around us, and I think you're inspiring people already. So I'm looking forward to the next month and the next month. You've made good progress, but the cool thing is there's a lot of progress to continue to make, and the people here are going to witness that. And I can say that with confidence. Before I knew how much motivation it would take for me to motivate a client like Jacqueline, who was in pain, who was going through a bunch of stuff in life. And I'm talking about stress, which every person here is going through some kind of different stress. You're never going to get to a point where you don't have stress in your life and say, oh, okay, now I'm going to try to take care of myself. Because guess what? Literally in 3 hours, you're going to come across something that's a bit stressful. Like maybe you burnt the chicken and then now you don't have anything to eat. What are you going to do? Right? Panic. So that's something that I would like to bring up right now. And I don't want this to be, I want it to be slightly educational because I can bring up some points. I'm going to show this anyway. Oops, sorry, I need to share my screen because there's some people here that don't know me. And I think it's good for me to practice my story. So this is me 7 years ago. And I was a guy who would train and work out and do stuff, but I'd also go out, have some beers with the guys, stay up late, partake in a lifestyle that definitely didn't equal what this guy on the right is embracing. And it's not that that's what I was going for then, but I always kind of wanted that feeling of feeling kind of like filled out and ripped and put together. All it was a bit of a shift in realizing what I could actually achieve. But it takes time. And the guy on the right is who I am now. And I want you guys to know that I don't live in a super, super lean body, but I do have the confidence to be super, super lean if I wanted to real quick, because I have the skills and the tools and the mindset to be able to do that. And that's what I would like for my clients to have, is to say, you know what, I want to switch gears and I want to feel leaner and tighter and just go and just be able to do it like Jacqueline is experiencing right now. Sometimes it takes time, but that's just a quick little intro to who I am. This community time is important. It is proof that people are changing on different levels in different ways in different environments. And it's because we have a basis of a program that gives us a chance to make quality choices and continue to move forward. And the topic that I would like to discuss today is a big one. And I'm sure that you guys have heard this word of inflammation. Yeah, I'm going to practice something. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard of the word inflammation. All right. People are in the chat. Thank you. So I'm gonna open up the floor for maybe Angie. What is inflammation to you? What's your understanding of inflammation? What is it? What could it be?
Oh, Angie.
Angie? I'm looking at Angie. I don't know. Can you hear me? Angie? You responded.
Yeah, it seems like.
Okay, Kriska, you fill in the role there.
Sure. Inflammation for me would be well, physically, like externally, it would look like it's like, yeah, swelling, or when your body reacts to something and it just swells, right? Sorry, do you have a better description?
Yeah.
But I don't know how to describe it.
No, it's okay. It's not easy to explain. It's not it, and there's different elements of inflammation. And I don't want to say something for sure right now because it's not like I'm a mad scientist and I'm digging into the topic of inflammation, but I know what it looks like, I know what it feels like, and I know what causes it. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit here. So what is it? The basis of general health is keeping your chronic inflammation levels down as low as we can and not give them any reason to elevate. That would be the chronic response in your immune system. So your immune system responds to different viruses, different like things that it needs to kind of take care of and cleanse the body. But if it's constantly getting responses of high inflammatory foods like fried food, okay, that doesn't do a good job of taking care of your gut, there's going to be an inflammatory response to that. Let's say not getting a good balance between omega-3 and omega-6 oils. High omega-6 constantly brings upon a inflammatory response to your cardiovascular system, which elevates your cholesterol, which that's what the doctor was saying. You have high levels of cholesterol. You don't have a good balance there. So these sorts of things, the body responds to that every single choice that we make. So what we want to have are quality habits. That's the only way to be a healthy person, is to have good habits. From there, how far do you want to take your health? Because there's ultra health, there's decent health, and then there's like, I'm just going to live here and be okay. And then beyond that, it's like, hey, this is getting dangerous. We need to make choices, a different choice here. So just three points that I would like to bring up are having awareness to how your body responds to what you ingest. And when you ingest something, like when you eat something or drink something, there's a response through your insulin hormone, and it starts to shovel the broken down chemicals or the molecular structure of what you eat into your cells. That's the vehicle that works that nutrition into your cells. If we were eating things like white rice often, and bread and pasta and drinking fruit drinks that are high in sugar, there's going to be constant levels of high insulin response rate. Those aren't like horrible things to eat. What isn't great is that when most of the time now, when we eat those, we sit down for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Maybe we go for a walk. we ingest high insulin stuff and we live a sedentary life. That's when people start to hold on to water and the cells overflow with glycogen, and then that turns into body fat. With all of that, there has to become an awareness. So with this program, that's what I love, is people become super aware of how their body starts to respond to what they ingest, because it's very focused, but it's very achievable. Another element of inflammation that I realize for my clients and myself is stress management. And stress management to me is there's probably about 50 times a day when something happens, whether it's a conversation with the boss, or there's a deadline you got to meet, or you can't get to bed because of this, or the kids are crying, that if you can just realize your emotional response to this, which is usually cortisol, and take a deep breath and take a drink of water and recognize what is happening in your body before you respond. That would be stress management. And my best clients are the ones who breathe really well. It's because when they are breathing well, they typically have an ability to manage stress better. It's not that they're not stressed, it's just that they have more awareness. That's where cardio comes in. Cardio is for you to become acquainted with your lungs and your heart, not to burn fat. You lose fat, or fat loss comes from prevention, by not putting it on in the first place, not doing something to mitigate a choice that you already made. Okay. Cardio is not for fat loss, just so all you guys on here know. It's for having a strong heart and having workable lungs. So then you can recover better and manage stress better, so you can train better. But that's maybe a different topic. Okay. The last one is lacking of blood flow. Perpetually, people who get 3,000 steps or less have very little chance to have a decent body fat percentage. You don't need to go to the gym. You just need to be a decent, perpetual mover. That's where 10,000 steps comes in. But I really believe that most people think that you have to get 10,000 steps to go for a walk. Right now, literally all 10 of us are sitting down right now. But actually, all 10 of us could be walking while we're watching this. Most of the time, when you guys are having your Zoom calls, you got to be face on. But I have a few tips. The best ones is what Sue is doing. Sue, if you know Sue, she invited Kriska. Kriska heard about this program. Now Kriska is advancing in her health. But Sue has had a tremendous, unreal, the best transformation that you could possibly have in the most efficient amount of time, which is about 1% body fat a week for about 14 weeks straight. Insane results. Her one major factor of her result is that she would get up and go for a 20-minute walk in the morning. And when she comes to the gym, I ask her, hey, how was your walk? I only got 20 minutes, but I did it, because she's trying to work this into her life. And if she didn't get up and start to move, then she wouldn't have had the result that she's having. She'd still be good, but not excellent. And it relies on the 20-minute walk that she's doing, 20 minutes. And I kind of believe that if I can't get people to go for a walk, what can I have them do? That's the easiest thing to do. You got 2 legs. Get up, find some inspiration, go for a walk. Okay. So that's what I have to say about inflammation. And it's a topic that will probably always be studied, and it's becoming more and more recognized as what is the determining factor of being able to take care of yourself. Are you aware of what's causing inflammation, and are you good at keeping that down? There's so many ways to discover and explore that, but it's definitely a topic to kind of consider. And 1, being aware of how your body responds to what you eat, and 2, being decent at realizing your stress response in your body, and 3, do not be okay with laying your head on your pillow at night if you've gotten 7,000 steps. Be a warrior, find a way to get 10,000 steps, and don't be shocked that things start to fall in place for you. Oh, and don't forget, we got to drink a lot of water too, like more than you even think. 2 liters is okay. 4 liters is better, but this comes with time. Okay, so that's my spiel. I would like to open up the floor to somebody else.
Maybe Evan, just to add on inflammation, right? I think inflammation is basically our immune system responding to some kind of irritant, right? So it's a self-defense mechanism of a very healthy body, that you're able to respond to some kind of irritants, external, internal, that is triggering that response, where then, you know, you then feel a little bit more inflamed and swelling or whatever it is, right? So it is a good sign that your immune system is working. But then how much stress do you want to put into your immune system, right? Knowing that, as Evan mentioned, sugar and stress and everything like that actually causes it to be more irritable, right? So therefore, you're going to get even more stressed out. So Evan knows I have a major stressful kind of life. And so breathing will be one recommendation that I do a lot. Very deep breathing, because basically when you breathe in a very shallow way, you're only triggering the sympathetic nervous system here, right? So you're like, it's a fight or flight mode. But if you just breathe very deeply, a couple of deep breaths into your belly, you're really touching the parasympathetic nervous system that is located here deep in your belly. And that will trigger those calm, peaceful kind of feeling immediately within 3 breaths, 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3. It has saved me even during conflict kind of discussions, right, at work. So yeah, I just wanted to add on to that, Evan.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, the sympathetic and parasympathetic difference is fantastic. I would like to practice right now for 30 seconds, everyone that's listening, to do what's called a double inhale, which is you take a deep inhale, and then you stack another one on top of that. So everybody here, kind of sit up straight, like give yourself like some extension in your spine, and let's do 15 of them together and kind of see how like you start to get blood into different areas. All right, so there's no reason to feel weird here. We're all going to do it, so I'm going to do it too. Ready? Let's go for it. So double inhale. I like to believe I can feel my chest like relaxing a bit, my shoulders. On the way back over here to the house today, it was a rush because we knew we had to get on this call. That brings tension. And emotional responses. Do 3 more. We want to have a nice relaxing weekend, but also like the ability to manage stress on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And also the convenience of nutrition to make a quality choice in situations where you may not have had the ability to make a quality choice in the past. I believe somebody else is on this call who's in her first week. She's doing so good, not great, but so good. I got to double check. How do I double check to make sure she's here? Anton, are you here? Antoinette? She is, but she's on mute. Are you able to say hello, Antoinette?
Hi, yes. Good morning.
Good morning. I would like to applaud you. I know she's with her babies, and that's,
yes.
you know, this is life. But I would like to applaud her, one for being here, but 2 for her ability to make the best choice possible that she can. It goes to show that the mindset is she's there. She's just trying to build the skills that will advance her even further, because she wants to take this as far as she can. And a few things that she did well this week was, one, she had to go to a hawker center with her boss. Had to, quote unquote. If she was a freak already, she would have brought her own food from home and brought it to the hawker center. But that probably shows some kind of non-relatability with her boss. Sure, boss, we'll go to the hawker center, no big deal. And she ordered what the best she could. And it was okay. It wasn't great, it was okay. But she also, on Friday, which is TGIF, thank God it's Friday. I like to think TJIM, thank God it's Monday. I can't wait to go to work. But in the company mindset, thank God it's Friday, whatever, get people together. She had a soda water, and most people are drinking alcohol because that's how they de-stress, which is a habit of disease.
Yes.
It's not a habit of health, it's a habit of disease. So I want to applaud her for going through her first week. We're definitely going to spotlight her here in about, I don't know, give her some time, but she's doing great. And this just goes to show you that we are creating a culture here. And with that culture, it's making the lives of coaches a lot easier in order to help the people around them. So with that, that's 30 minutes. It's perfect. Thank you guys for joining. I look forward to this. Maybe we'll do it at 10:30 next week. It might be a little bit easier for us to get on. But as always, you guys have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great weekend.
See you again soon.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.